donate today and help support our radio ministry on WECE 590.
Hello, creatures. I've been working on a project recently, and in that project I've been using this, the SOMA Ether. It's a peculiar and delightfully confusing little device. The SOMA Ether is an EMF recorder and records EMF waves and turns them into sounds that we can hear. It's also supposed to be anti-radio, but honestly, I've picked up radio waves with this. So it's kind of anti-radio.
That you're not supposed to be at that state of physiological in that moment, so you feel really...
Now the thing is with this is that it records a lot of sounds that are made by things like electronic devices, but it doesn't isolate any one band of frequency. It records multiple bands of frequencies, which means a lot of the times you're going to hear a lot of noise, digital noise, background noise, radio noise, all at the same time. The device here actually has two dials on the side that you can control, I think, the loudness and the intensity of the signal that you're recording. I check the website. I'm not even sure if that's totally accurate. But I've been using it quite extensively to record sounds in the environment. It's battery powered, so you don't have to worry about charging it over and over again. It has a little hole here for you to plug a 3.5 millimeter cable into it, and then that cable into a recorder or a camera or any recording device for you to actually capture your sound. Now, I first got this device sometime last year, roughly around the same time as now, maybe, and I've been using it on and off to record various things. And one of the things that I found while going out into the environment to record stuff is that a lot of the sounds that I get are mostly the same. There's not really much variety in sound if you were to go outside and just point it at the sky or point it at the street or point it at cars or people or wherever else you are in the city, or even if you get away from the city, the sound is mostly the same. The differences come in if you were to point this at, say, a specific device like a camera or a computer, your stove, or a light, or a utility box or a lamp or anything like that. If you record the overall environment, you're going to get a lot more noise and a lot less variety of sound. Now, the sounds that I've been getting from this, from various sources, I've been using in my sound design and for my music in a lot of different ways. Sometimes I have used the sounds as textures and I've altered them very, very slightly. Sometimes I've done things like drop the samples into a granular synthesizer like Novum, because I've done that in one of my videos already. Sometimes I will take little snippets of sound and chop them up and make something out of that, because you could do that with the sound. Sometimes you could get sounds that are a bit rhythmic, also shown in that Novum video that I made. But overall, the sounds that you get from this are really kind of hard to control, and there's a little bit of excitement in that, especially when you're going around and you're hearing most of the same sound, and then you hear something different. That's a noise you haven't heard before, and you want to hone in on it. But you realize that sound is actually changing the closer you get, and you may not actually have that sound anymore if you spend too much time trying to find it, because sometimes that happens. depending on where it is that you go and whatever it is you're recording, the sound that you're listening to, the sound that it's capturing, is not necessarily going to be constant. Sometimes it could change. Other sources of EMF could interfere with it. You may actually end up touching the recorder with your finger, and that would interfere with this. You may end up touching one of the little prongs up here on the top of this device, and that would actually change the sound a little bit. So, overall, this is something that forces you to go out and find stuff. It's like an EMF scavenger hunt device thing. Now, when it comes to sound design with the sounds that you could get from this, even though the raw sounds will be very noisy and very hard to listen to, not musical necessarily, that doesn't mean that you have to stop there and just use those raw sounds for sound design or even for music, and I certainly don't. That's why I use things like Novum, other granular synthesizers, other samplers, other things to process the samples and change them in ways that would suit me for my music. And I don't think there's any one right way or any wrong way to do it, but it is up to you. It is up to your level of creativity and how far you're willing to push the sounds that you could get from this. Because I do think that even though it may seem a bit unappealing in a musical sense, there is music to be had from a device like this.
Next step.
I'm going to keep recording on this because I am in the middle of a sample pack available soon. Stay tuned. All right, and that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. Just this. And just to say that I have a sample pack of it coming soon. Catch you later. Bye, creatures.